good?
You guys are all set.
All set? All right. Welcome back. We are, we've come back from our non-public session. So now I'll take a motion, to seal the minutes.
I'll make a motion to seal the minutes for 1 year.
Okay?
Second.
All right, and we'll go to a roll call vote. Judy?
Yes, aye.
Justin?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
I am a yes, so.
Steve, you made it sound like a poker bet, the way you said it. I was ready, like, I'll up you a year and a half.
Thank you very much. We will
Sorry to
move-
bother you.
Yeah, sorry, John.
Hey, John, good to see you.
All right, we'll move on to our approval of minutes from the last meeting, which was May 27th. Everybody have a chance to review those?
I did when they first came, I
Yep.
didn't have anything.
All right. Motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second.
Any changes, edits, comments, concerns? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained?
I don't think I was there.
Passes 401. We'll open up public input at 7:45. We'll close public input with no members of the public here. And we'll move on to facility and field requests, of which we have 3.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
that made the agenda, one that needs to be added.
Okay, so the first is the request from the 16U Plex team. And they are requesting to use Field 1 at Roy Memorial Park, starting Mondays, the 19th to the 24th, June 19th, which they've already been approved for, ending ending July 24th, from 5 to 8 p.m. So they've previously been approved for those nights through June because we weren't meeting ahead of time. So with the remainder of the dates open, I'll take a motion to approve the request as stated.
It's Thursdays, though.
What did I say, Mondays?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah, Thursdays,
Thursdays.
you're right.
And Thursdays are open on this
Yeah,
calendar?
I spoke with LGSL, and
Okay.
they're accommodating, not gonna use the field that evening.
I'll make a motion to accept the request as stated.
A second?
I'll second it.
Okay. Any other feedback, comments, questions? Nope. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained? All right, passes 401. The second request comes from AGSL. This is a request for fields 1, 2, and 3, starting Sunday the 1st, going through, starting on the 1st for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, going until August 31st, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Except for Thursdays?
every night.
But we
But the-
just,
But the 12U field, they'll be open for Thursday evenings to accommodate the Plex.
okay.
And
So
right
that's
now,
a
the
blanket
reason-
request?
There's a blanket request.
So we have a car show there on the 4th.
And the other Plex team has already granted Mondays for the 10U field, from 5 to 6:30.
So they can't, I don't anticipate them having
So,
games on
which other
July 4th.
Plexes?
The 12U.
And when did we approve that one?
That was approved when they moved from Wednesday nights to accommodate LGSL, back in the middle of the spring,
But they were only up till June, right?
the end of July.
But at that time, we were only taking June
They made a
requests.
new request in the middle of the spring, so it brought them through the
Okay.
tournament season.
I don't know if LGSL knows that, so I'll discuss it with them.
And then
They've-
the 4th of July.
Well, yeah, 4th of July, I don't think they'll be doing anything down there.
They've been aware that they've been down there because I communicated with them every week that night, with Erin, to make sure that their intention wasn't to use the 10U field, and if they were, then we moved to the 8U field.
Okay, I just want to make sure because they got summer league starting and they're starting to build the schedule right now, so.
So are they going to give us a schedule once they have a summer schedule, so
Yourself?
we know it's open?
Yes, I'll ask for
Would
one.
you-
So what's happening right now is you've got blast tryouts coming up. You've
Yep.
got the LGSL Summer League I think they might even try 6s, 8s, and 10s. So they're still building that whole program right now.
But they don't anticipate needing every day, all day.
No, I think it's just the typical throw
Okay.
the schedule in until they do it.
So do we want to make the approval based on the acceptance of their schedule once it's released? I know the calendar that they've shared with me, they've been adding to for their blast schedules. So it looks like for their blast schedule, they've requested, they haven't requested, it's not in the schedule on the town calendar, but they have Monday nights for 5:30 to 7:30, field pending. Looks like two blast teams going until
So they have a partial schedule?
they have a
done?
partial schedule, but it's.
That's just for blast.
But that wasn't, I don't believe that was part of their spring request.
So then they also have a tournament coming up
Yeah,
down there.
Their
that's part of
tournament
it,
was in there, yeah.
and all
their
that.
tournament's in there already, okay.
Tournament's in there. But I think their spring request just went to the end of June. They've got a couple of dates in July on their calendar.
Okay.
So in the middle of the spring session, if people want to book for the summer, we're going to allow that? Just so I can let them know. Because usually there's a date when we start taking care of summer requests. Because
So,
I think if they knew that, they probably would have this request would have been in sooner. So we
When-
just gotta be consistent on when we're gonna start looking at
when do they
requests.
start summer ball officially?
Yeah, they just
July
finished,
first.
they just finished their spring
Okay, so
ball.
they have
So
their
they're just-
registration, they have their
So they're just
registration.
finishing up fall, spring right now. Blast is still in tournament season. Then they're gonna have summer ball, Blast is gonna.
So we're
have
gonna just
fall.
have to set dates quarterly.
Correct.
And probably the only ones we would have to review outside of those dates would be school, because their school schedules are set and they might start earlier. And then that way it's fair across the board. And that goes to 8:31. I just don't see summer ball taking 7 days a week, 7 AM.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But when you don't know the schedule, they put it in a
Right.
blanket, just like everybody else does.
Right, but like,
So, I guess,
like in the past, they haven't practiced during the daytime, is
No,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
that-
So if you had a team of 16-year-olds who drive and they had a date, they could have a daytime
Yep.
practice.
so, they're putting a request in for July first. Are they gonna be using the field July first?
They potentially could be. I mean, once the team gets together, they could practice that day.
Yeah, so I guess I'm just wondering,
So
we're 7, 8
they
days
don't have
out.
anything in their schedule
How do you not have
on
the
July
schedule set?
first. Yeah, the only thing they have in their schedule right now is Monday, at least starting in July. Well, let's just go from here, I guess, right? So today is what, the 24th? So tomorrow night, they have their Spring League celebration. Then they have Monday, the 30th, for the 8U Field 2, 10U Field 1, 8U scrimmage, 10U Field 1, 8U scrimmage, and then 8U Field 2 at 6:30.
But that's all Blast, right?
It's blast, yep.
So
Then
then
they
you have the
have,
LGSL portion of that also.
what's that?
Then you're gonna have the LGSL
So-
portion of that coming up.
Like, I don't know how we want to do that, because if they've got stuff in there already and we haven't approved their summer request, and then we've got some for pay in there that came in earlier. Like you're saying, they already have summer dates scheduled in there,
It's not in the town calendar, I'm looking at their calendar.
at their calendar, but they have,
We haven't.
And the reason for that is we would not allow them to go past June 30th.
Right.
On their original request, so we should not have allowed anybody for pay to go past June 30th at the same exact.
so we have to just set those dates quarterly
Yeah.
for, well, that's something we'll have to do.
So going back to the 16U was already worked out?
16U's
16U
worked
is
out,
done,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're
We'd
good.
already approved 12U a month ago, 2 months ago at this point, right, so
Which probably should have only been approved up to June.
Sure,
Right,
we'll have to
so-
work that out moving forward. So I guess we're giving first priority
that's-
to the rec team, right, LGSL?
Yes, so the the 8U field should be open, so if they're not gonna use the 10U field, then the 8U field, they can use the 8U field, flex team. But that's just, looks like based on their schedule, that's just next Monday, and then after that, it looks like it's open through July.
Do you have that schedule?
No.
Yeah. Oh,
I don't know if I can share it with you, this isn't my schedule, I
I'll
just
get
have
it-
view
I'll get it
only,
from Mike.
yeah. And then they have something going on there Tuesday night.
You know, and this never happened before, because we were never renting it out before. I mean, Plex 14, which are now 16s, used to use Sunday morning.
oh, yeah.
That was it. So that's why this is a new road for everybody.
And we had no request for college showcases this year, right?
Fusion ended
Fusion
up
didn't
getting another field
use our
that came
fields.
online, so they used that instead of coming to Darren.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, when you wanna say your summer requests are due, but if they already have a schedule now.
This is their
it's
practice
June.
schedule.
It's,
This
but
isn't-
it's the
Okay.
schedule that continued over from the season.
Yeah.
Right, because their tournament season's
Yeah.
not over with.
Right.
But by us not allowing it to go into July and ending it in June, we wouldn't have had visibility for it. Right? So we kind of did it to ourselves by saying this is the date. And we never said what is the date where we're gonna start entertaining after July 1st requests. So we said no to them, but we allowed it for other people to have it. So it's just getting the working guidelines around it for all of us, because we're in new uncharted territory.
Right. So, maybe best course of action, the league liaisons need to reach out, figure out when their dates make sense, and then we come back next meeting and just hammer out what a schedule looks like to everybody. If that
Yeah.
makes sense.
We're gonna have to, I mean,
That
because
accommodates the
their
most.
tournament season's still going. They don't end until,
Well, then, do you do spring through, I was gonna say spring through summer, but then you have some other things that are just summer or camps that just pop up, I don't know.
I mean, we know how baseball and softball work, right?
Yeah.
We know that it's gonna go through to probably
Yeah.
the third week of July. So I think we need to have flexibility
Yeah.
on the spring request to let them go to at least the third week of July.
Yeah, which is fine. I think we hammer out each league season and put it
Yeah,
together.
I thought we did do that and have dates. I thought we did,
But
because I think,
they were earlier than
like,
they needed.
last year we let the schools know that they should let us know by our first meeting in August, their requests, because sometimes they're starting, a lot of times they are starting their practices in August.
Yeah.
But I think the schools can't let us know July 1st, because they don't have
They
their
can't,
schedule
no.
from
I
the
mean, they're not
state.
even back to school yet.
No, yeah, well, yeah, and the state hasn't set their
Set
their
anything for
schedules.
it.
So, yeah, not everything's gonna fit
No.
nice and clean,
But our priority
But-
has to be the town
Yeah.
reps first and foremost.
right,
But they also have to realize that they have to work back with us. And once we set the schedule,
yeah,
these are the dates that if somebody comes to us and wants to use the field, they can, they can rent the field.
All right, so are we,
so are we, what was the wording, did someone, or no one
Nobody's
made a
made a
motion? Okay,
Nobody's made a motion, so we can make a motion, and vote
I
on
think
it.
it should say something in there pending a schedule in place by a
We
certain
accept it
date.
pending that they will give us their summer schedule by,
Yeah, that way we
whatever
know
date.
what we're working with
Well,
if we get other requests.
We're not meeting for another month, so I mean,
Right.
we can always
well, I
make
think,
the,
I think they still can give it to us.
We can always make the, that concession, but
do we accept and send the dates we've already confirmed with the two pay leagues to Mike and say you have to work around these dates? Just do it that way?
well, I think on Monday nights, we continue to work with them when that field's not being used, because that was their night, that was the same night that we approved for them, and we made that concession after Wednesday nights were full up. So, I think we continue doing that the way we need to do it for now, it's only 2 more weeks.
I mean, I think we need to honor it because we did it earlier, even though we extended further than we allowed the rec.
Well, I know, maybe I didn't say what, so we send to Mike that these dates he has to work around, right?
So Mike has already said, LGSL has already said that they're gonna do Thursdays on the 12U
Yeah,
field for the
Thursdays are good.
16 team. The only one we have for 2 more weeks is going to be the 12 on Monday nights.
Right.
I'll relay that with Mike and work around it.
just
No,
confirm
so it's the 10 on Monday nights, not the 12.
The 12U team on the
Yes,
10U
yeah, yeah,
field.
Yep, and we've been communicating with the 8U coach, and if she wants to use the field, then that Plex team gets moved to the 8U field, which has been working for the most part with the 8U team, but yeah, if he needs to be included in on that, then he should be included in on that too.
I think we
Because
just
that
gotta.
was
I
the
just don't
confusion.
we
understand
need
why
to keep the
8U needs to be
communication
on a
through the
10U
liaison,
field.
So there's no issues.
That was the confusion last week, so
Does 8U doesn't pitch, right?
8U pitches, no,
Pitching
8U has a
machine.
Pitching machine. So why doesn't 8U use the 8U field? Like in baseball, the 8-year-olds play at one field. They don't go to the 10-year-old field for,
They do, it's the same distance for the minor league and for the rookie league. So they can use different fields.
I can't speak to baseball, I only have girls.
but, all right, so I'm just like, I know like 12U is
So the
different
tough
than
part about the 8U
8U.
field is when you put the bases in,
Yeah,
you're pretty much on the grass.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's
the
a really
infield
shrunk
itself is
down
small.
field.
Yeah.
It's really much
Right.
more for 6U. So the 8s, a lot of time we use the 10s or the 12 if
Okay.
nobody's on it because of the pitching machine. It's more of what they see during the tournaments. You know, that size field.
It's the same base distance, it's just a smaller,
so is that field basically unusable for,
It limps its way through, from what I've been told, is the sprinkler systems are actually put in, so you could extend the infield back further, so the sprinklers will shoot out the way it's supposed to. So the field is right now designed, so it could be increased to a full infield. It's just getting dollars to go do it.
I just don't know why it wasn't
I wasn't there when they
done,
put the field
no.
in.
Yeah. I mean, it seems like.
That's back in your
It seems
world,
like it's
Judy.
either a waste of space and we should make it a legitimate size field, or get rid of it, and,
It does get utilized when they hold tournaments. They will put
Okay.
8 teams back there.
all right,
yeah, the 8U teams will use it for
But
tournaments.
as it gets more towards the championship games and all of the,
Yeah.
single, they try to keep everything on the 10U field.
So if 8U teams use it for the tournament, 8U teams wouldn't use it for practice?
They could. I mean, they could. I mean, you could go do it, right? They have their 3 fields and they jockey them around just like you and I used to do. I mean, many times we jumped on the 12U field based on sun, and what the temperature was.
Yeah. All right, so do we wanna make a motion pending the release of their schedule?
but I would say by a date, because we can't let it go 3 weeks, 4 weeks, if other requests come
But we
in.
won't meet before they actually end up.
Right,
doing
but we
it.
could still
But
get
as long
the
as we have
schedule.
the schedule,
As long as
right?
we have the
It
schedule,
meets the
We
requirement
can
of
still
what
put
we
it in the
asked.
calendar.
Gotcha.
We can put it in the town calendar so it's visible.
Gotcha.
Up to date.
well, that also makes it, if somebody's looking and is like, I don't know if this day or this day is available, they can look at the calendar and see what is actually open and what is taken too.
So I'll make a motion to approve LGSL's field requests from 7/1 to 8/31 pending release of their schedule and pending working with what we've already approved.
Second,
Second.
any other conversation?
The stuff that we've already approved is on the town calendar, so they,
Yes, I believe it is, maybe with the exception of the.
This current one that we
this
just
current one that we
approved.
just approved.
I just want to clarify, we are asking for a permanent summer schedule once they have it, not a blanket,
Yes.
Correct.
7
Yes.
AM
And
to
then
8 PM,
once-
okay.
Once they give us their schedule, the rest of the days and times would be released.
yeah.
Okay, do
So
we have a second?
we have a second? Yeah, we have a second.
Okay.
Any other? No, all right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, passes 5-0-0. And then
So
Give that-
commission the additions.
oh, yeah, all right. So, additions to the agenda, we have a
We have one
a
field
late
request
Field request.
from LMS Girls Soccer. They're looking for July 8th, 15th, 22nd, 29th, August 5th, and August 12th on Tuesday at Sawmill Field 2. That request came in on Friday, I think.
Did we get any summer camp soccer requests?
We
For
have not
summer
gotten
this
any
year?
additional camp requests.
Okay.
I'm looking at the LYSL request now and see what's in the town calendar. Looks like after this week, they're done. I don't have anything at Sawmill after this week. As far as the town calendar goes, so.
And I don't think there's a summer Healthy Kids. They don't start up till fall, so.
All right. So, do I have a motion to approve the request?
So moved.
I'll second.
All right, any discussion, concerns? No, hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, passes 5-0-0. Will you reach out to them and let them know it's approved? I'll enter it into the calendar.
Yep.
Thank you.
Can I add to the agenda outdoor locks?
Yes,
Purchase of and reimbursement of outdoor locks? And I want, just a quick river access.
I'm sorry, say that again.
River access?
Access.
Yeah.
Yep, okay.
Oh, you did put it under new business. You did put the locks. I'm sorry, I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I thought it was too late for that.
All right,
Oh, no. Oh, that's ice pack. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I did. Never mind.
okay.
It's getting late. It's late for me. Okay. So do you want to just add them to the bottom of somewhere or?
No, they can go in now for new business.
Okay, I had reached out to Chris to buy a new 4-pack of outdoor locks. Ours, that we had at, the river access broke. We got it open, but it will not close again. I have, a spare one, so I'm gonna use that. And then when we get the new gate, we're gonna need one, and I'd just like to have a couple on hand in case they break. And Chris had approved that, and I ordered them, and it's for $45.41. So, I don't know if you wanna do make it public voting to, because you had that authority to do the purchase, but just so we're transparent,
Yes,
and
we
then
have to do a vote
reimbursement.
to reimburse.
Yep.
Yep,
Pay and reimburse
So-
for the outdoor locks.
So you bought them?
Yep,
They were 45.41?
yep, for 4.
I'll make a motion to reimburse Judy for 45.41 for 4 new locks.
We have to say what line, what makes the most sense for that, what line item?
believe
Do we
that
have
would
like a
be
supplies, or is it is that maintenance?
Probably maintenance.
budget, probably maintenance, yeah.
Maintenance. We gotta make sure we have the money in the account.
Yeah. Repair and maintenance, yes, we have
We do have
plenty of money in there. for-
maintenance,
For
okay.
$45, yeah.
So reimburse Judy for 45.41 for 4 locks coming out of the maintenance,
Equipment repair and maintenance.
equipment repair and maintenance line.
Okay.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained,
I'll abstain.
passes 4-0-1.
While we're at it, do we want to just do the ice packs?
Yes, may as well.
I'll make a motion to reimburse Judy for ice packs in the sum
Oh,
of,
that one's not coming out of mine.
okay, where's that one coming from?
Fire, Litchfield Fire and Rescue ordered the ice packs for us. I don't
We need to reimburse them?
we need to just have Karen pay it
Okay,
Okay,
out of our,
equipment,
equipment and
it must have been
Maintenance
maintenance and
line.
equipment. I think she has the minutes for that one.
I will make a motion that we have the finance director reimburse the fire department in the sum of $86.32 for ice packs coming out of the
Just
equipment and
paying the
maintenance.
bill. They ordered it,
Paying the
but they didn't pay for it.
Okay,
Sorry.
pay the bill. Karen, just please pay the bill.
Pay the bill, yeah. So, yeah, they ordered it, but we got a separate invoice.
Okay.
Karen has the invoice.
Okay, so we have a
So,
motion.
out of equip-
We have a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, the bill's paid.
5-0-0. We'll move back up to the AARP grant. Judy?
So the national announcement was made last week, so we can make it public now that were awarded one of 283 AARP Community Challenge grants. There were 3,460 applicants, so that's pretty good, not even 10%. So that was we had to wait till that was awarded publicly. We haven't received the money yet. It's going to go direct deposit into an e-supplier account, but we haven't received our money. We're probably way at the bottom of the list because you can't receive it till you sign the contract. And I had to wait till the Board of Selectmen meeting, which gave us like 1 day to get it in and to qualify for the money. So I did a 1 minute. I had to do a 1 minute kind of introducing our project to submit to AARP for their website. I can send that to you if you want. The video came out good, but I hate being on video. I asked George to do it with me because he brought it up, and he's been doing a lot of cleaning up of the water down there with conservation. They sent, I think, 8 T-shirts for your volunteers. I don't know who makes it. All sizes. I figure when we have beach cleanup or whatever, whoever shows up down there, I'll hand out the shirts. They said, oh, you can use your grant money to buy more, but what I might do is just make my own donation and pick up some extra shirts. So, I mean, I'd like the volunteers who show up to be able to have them. We have to do an official announcement. I can send you the video, see if you want to use that. We can do a Facebook post. We have to acknowledge AARP in that, so there's certain guidelines we have to follow. I don't know what you want to do, but we really do need to think about we have to have like a ribbon breaking ceremony, like we did for pickleball, but we're kind of mandatory with this.
Yep.
And there may be representatives from the state or AARP or that do come for this. Apparently it's a big deal. So we have to think about a date for that. We don't meet till the end of July. Once we get the money, it's going to go quick pending getting the beach cleaned up, because I'd like.
What's the lead time on the dock?
We'll order it as soon as the money comes in, and a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Okay.
It's quick and easy to assemble, but we do got to clear out like the ground and some of the muck. The milfoil treatment is going to happen within the next 2 weeks, so it's kind of good because it ties in with this. And I've been going down there just kind of trying to bring back that clean beach area. Every time I go down there, there are cars and trucks on the beach. That will be over with soon. It's not soon enough for me, but at least while we're cleaning up, we're not going to have oil and the beach is all torn up and
Tire ruts.
so that's where we stand. I can send you the video, see what you think. If you have ideas of how you want to make the announcement, I'll do something on our page, and I'm sure Jason can do something better than I can for the WhatsApp page. He's kind of good with that stuff. So I've started working on the sign. We have to have a sign acknowledging that it's from AARP Community Challenge Grant, along with the sign that says, no diving off the dock, no jumping. We will have some railings on it, so that'll make it kind of impossible. But your general dock rules with the AARP, they send us the logo. So I'm hoping, we'll be able to get some help down there. I can't use the tractor. I don't want to learn how to use a tractor. But a couple of the conservation guys, or a few of them, said they want to start working on that pile where all the trees that fell and some had to be cut by highway are just kind of thrown to the side there.
Is it down on the left?
Down on if you're walking down, I think it's on the right.
Yeah. And I know that conservation's looking at the drainage going down there, because sometimes there's like gulches, and then they're looking at the potassium that's going in there. So it'll between getting the dock and making that area safer for people and the water cleanup and beach cleanup, it'll end up, I think, being pretty nice. And maybe we can get the beautification fund maybe to get a couple benches on the beach or something.
Yeah, and I think our field guy said a couple times there's no phosphorus or anything being used on the field, so.
Right, yeah, it could be coming from private
Yeah.
homes.
Yeah.
But the more we have cars going down there and spinning out and runoff of oil and gas and everything, so that won't be an issue any longer, but
Yeah, sure.
I'll just send the video to you
Go.
guys.
Yeah, we'll take a look at
Don't
it.
laugh at me.
Never. But great work, Judy.
Yes,
You
thank
did a
you very
really
much.
good job.
Yeah,
of
really
that.
great job.
You
Greatly
didn't see the
appreciate it.
video yet.
With
But
everything.
you on the whole grant and the
So,
process and everything you did.
To make it all happen.
I'm excited because I think it'll just be a nice thing that we can add for the general community.
Definitely.
Because a lot of what we have is, and work we do is geared towards younger, you know,
Absolutely.
the younger population. So I'll just keep you informed and all that, but I guess we did pickleball on a weekday morning. I know not everybody can always make it, but we will have to set a date and
Yeah, we can
advertise
certainly look at
and,
dates as we get closer.
now, like, we don't meet till the end of July. This could be done by the end of July. I'm really thinking it might. Putting the dock together is the easiest part. So is it illegal for us to, in an email, to say what are some dates that work for people? Like, how do we do that? Because we don't meet for a month and we can't come in at the end of July and say, oh yeah, we're gonna have it next week.
Yeah.
You know, how do we?
My understanding was we just have to make that email trail public.
Correct.
We just have to introduce it at a meeting. So if we were to have to figure that out, we could just bring it up at the next meeting and say, hey, while we were not meeting, you know,
We looked
decided
at
on
these
this date,
dates.
This is the day we're doing.
But then again, we could have a quick meeting if we wanted to, right?
Yeah,
Always hold a special
We
meeting.
could always.
Oh, I don't want to, you know what? We get 2 months where we meet only once. I don't want people to have to come in here in July. People have vacations. Like, I don't want to do an extra meeting.
yeah.
But it might also be better if we did it towards the end of August, put the dock in, right? It'd be cooler.
Yeah,
I think,
but,
yeah. I mean,
Give
once
us
we know
more
what the
time to
money's-
advertise
but,
for help.
there's like,
support.
people are fishing down there all the time. And where are we going to store it
Yeah.
once we have it? So, I mean, we could eat, it doesn't have to be a weekday morning. We could do a Saturday morning. Might get more community down there.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I know the spring sports are like crazy for everybody on the commission. I don't know, maybe we'll throw out some dates and see.
Maybe we just put something out there, date TBD,
Yeah,
right?
and
Just to get awareness that we're gonna go do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then our next meeting, once we know the funding, when it's coming in, or if it already came in.
It will be in, I'm trying to work on getting all the groundwork done ahead of time, so once it comes in, I can't believe how many people fish down there. Every time I go down there or do a park walkthrough, there are always people fishing, and they're catching fish. So.
thank you for
All
your
right,
work on it.
so I'll send that video, see what you guys think, or if you have ideas of
Yep.
other ways to introduce it.
Perfect.
Do we need to do anything to make it accessible? We had talked early on about having some sort of a,
We have a ramp going up it, and it is wide enough for someone with a walker, if they're on a wheelchair. We'll have to,
get from,
Question.
yeah, so it's gonna have to be like graded, and I'm looking at all that. I have a budget for like stone or hard pack or whatever we might need, and then, also, I put in for like miscellaneous, because there's things that pop up that you don't know, or prices go up, and I stated all that, so.
Yeah.
I'm gonna reach out to local businesses for their input and how to do that best, and so that it doesn't get washed away with the kind of drainage ditches that we have going down there, and once I know more, I can,
I've seen beaches that have like those runners, like the
Yep.
carpet runners almost,
Yep.
but they're plastic.
the rubber,
Yeah.
yep,
Go down on top of the sand filters through them.
Yep.
Depending on the cost of those, that would be a good idea.
so, yeah. I think we
and
gotta,
actually reduce the erosion as well.
yep. And that's one thing, the erosion part that conservation's doing work with, so that will help us out. Right, I didn't mean to take up so much time with
That's
that.
okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think you're up next with the field use for specific sports.
Oh, yeah, we had run into a problem with softball and
Lacrosse.
school lacrosse and field overlaps, and we had talked about, Sawmill Park was made for soccer and lacrosse to so that softball can have their fields in place, you know, softball, and, it had kind of come up like do we wanna make sure sports are happening at the right fields? Like we have fall softball, they should be able to keep their fence up during fall softball season. It's a softball field and not have to keep taking down, put it up, take it down. And then somebody had mentioned that the middle school will not bus their kids to Sawmill. They will only bus them to Campbell and have them walk over. And we had kind of said, but that's not the recreation's
Not our
issue.
problem.
The other thing is you constantly have soccer on that part of the field, and then lacrosse is playing there. It becomes more field maintenance for something that hasn't been much to maintain that, that back part.
Right.
So,
Becomes an issue too once the fences go up and being in the way of those sports, so.
Right.
Yeah, we shouldn't.
so,
Be
I
making
mean,
those
I mean, I
concessions.
think that school is, welcome to use our fields, but my thought is, we built Sawmill because of overuse at Dara.
Right.
And that it's built for soccer and lacrosse, and that,
Yeah.
we can't solve their busing issue,
No.
but other schools, I'm assuming, bus their kids to fields, so we had started that discussion, but, did not come to a conclusion, but we're gonna be having those fall requests come in soon, so it's something we need to think about as a,
So do we want to?
We definitely need to broach that discussion. I mean, right now, we really can't do anything about the fences, right? Because from a field maintenance standpoint, we have it from May 1st to August 1st, right? So if we're gonna keep the fences up, we're gonna have to have part of the negotiation next time we come through,
right,
that part of it.
yeah,
The other part with the school, I mean, I think ahead of time, we need to tell the school when it's budget season, like, hey, if you want to get lacrosse, you can't get them on Dara. You now have to get them to Sawmill, so they can build the busing.
And the same for
logistics
soccer.
within it. Same with soccer, where they can build the
those, that's what those
logistic in their
fields
busing.
were
line item.
made for, it doesn't impact with any other sports going on, because, or it's not like, well, softball starts at this time, if your game's not done, like we wanna provide for our town teams and leagues first. I also think we need to protect their fields during their use time too, and not have them make modifications for a different sport that's going on when we have a park for that.
And I
That
think
was specific.
softball would love to have permanent fields up like they do in the baseball fields.
Yeah,
That way it's, it's a permanent field, it's there. they mow
yeah,
around
at
it.
least one field, but to date, they haven't been able to put up permanent fencing
Yeah.
because we keep allowing soccer to be played there when we have,
So we
Sawmill.
identified, I think it was Peter, right, to liaise with the schools?
Correct.
So-
With the schools, yes.
Yeah.
Right, so
Yeah.
maybe we just have to ask Peter to get ahead of it and communicate to whoever it is over there that's scheduling soccer.
Especially as
Yeah.
we're going into
And-
budget.
In lacrosse.
right, and I
have that
think like
conversation now.
as soon as possible,
Sooner.
because
Yeah.
probably by our next meeting, we might start getting the field requests.
Right.
Because they start in August.
And I'm sure we will get a soccer request for Dara.
Yeah, I mean, we got soccer for, Sawmill today, so maybe they're
Yeah.
working on something.
So, do we want to officially,
Do you want to set a policy that the softball fields are for softball?
well, the other thing is like, other events take place on our town, Christmas in Litchfield and, general, stuff and like the high school, I don't think they did it this year, but they usually have a field day.
Yeah, they didn't do it for
Yeah,
seniors
over
this year.
at Campbell too, so I mean, it's not just for softball, but I think that sports need to be played at the designated fields unless approved for an emergency reason, or, there's,
Special.
they make, the middle school makes states and it's super flooded, which it can be down at Sawmill. Can we use that for, one game or something, like.
Wholeheartedly, I think it's a great policy,
Yeah.
trying to keep.
And then the fields are used what they're intended for, and we're not having to maintain parts of the field where we didn't have to put much maintenance in
Right.
before.
So do we need a motion to approve that policy? Do we need to write it
I think
first?
we
and
need to
then
write it
vote on
first.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we should get Peter to write it. He's good at that stuff.
He's good.
Yes, he is. And
He is.
I think it can be as simple as the sports are played on the fields that were intended for those sports.
I wonder if we do it as an addendum to our bylaws.
Yeah,
kind of where everything is right now.
Yeah.
That's the living document that we go by. So maybe we do it as an addenda in that, or another
Yeah.
section within that, or something.
That takes us through meetings to update.
So we'll put, Peter will be on that. And you know what, we probably should add this to, speaking of liaison, it made me, remember, Chris had asked if I'd continue being the liaison to Spirit of Litchfield. And I said yes, because everybody had a different role with somebody else.
Yep.
And then I have been with Litchfield Fire and Rescue all along for either our orders or opening river or whatever, so I can continue with that too, if you want.
I think it was Healthy Kids Running too, right?
Healthy Kids Running, yep.
Okay, perfect, thank you. All right, moving on, we've got the gate install at Dara, so communicating with the vendor there. They're looking at, still probably three weeks or so. They marked out where they were gonna go, they had to get dig safe.
I was gonna say, DigSafe has been there, I think, because I saw the flags.
So now they're just waiting, I think, on materials and schedule, but I expect that to be, probably sometime in July, that installation will happen.
That'll be nice with the dock. And it can't happen soon enough with all,
There are so many people flying up and down that access road. I mean, every time we were down there for a softball tournament, middle school game, I kept closing the gate.
yep. And the other thing is that
It's insane.
if you go down there, there's kids on the playground, and our playground is not fenced in, and we can't afford to fence it in, but they go to the hoop court back and forth, and there's a lot of people walking down there with their kids to the beach,
Yep.
and just ignoring the signs. We have tried to keep people out of there, and I think our people are gonna push, some people are gonna push back on it, I think.
They are.
But our
what's
number one thing is safety of the kids and people walking in that area. The river access, they have to carry their canoes and kayaks down, and people do. I don't know it's gonna happen if somebody's trying to get a bigger boat with, some kind of, I don't know much about them, like motors or whatever on them.
It shouldn't be more than a trolling motor.
There should
for
be
that.
more than a trolley on that side of the pond.
So some people may push back, but it has to be, even, when I was down there with fire and rescue, they said they've gone down there so many times and just seen so many, not safe situations with cars, our beaches being torn up.
Yeah.
Every time we take the time to rake it out with the tractor and you go down and somebody's dug it all up, and then you got oil spills, and so that can't happen fast enough for me.
I mean, the road agent was kind enough, he put the portable speed bumps back in.
Yep.
A week later, they were moved.
Yep, and they're on top of each other, and
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, and we don't wanna have to spike them down, because when they go to plow, you have to get them back up again, but I mean, nobody should be removing those.
and I'm constantly asking people to move their cars, I point out the signs. When did this start? We've always been able to park here. I'm like, these signs, they've been here. Posted fire lanes, and there's cars right there, and I mean,
It's
I
at the
think.
gate as you're driving in, saying, no
Yeah,
parking beyond
right.
this point.
And when you go past it, it says no parking, your car will be towed at
Yep.
your expense. So I know people push back, but I think the signs don't work, and people are just doing what they want, and this way, keep our property.
So, yeah,
Can't come soon enough.
to add
Nope,
that up.
definitely. All right, so the Talent Hall floor repairs, so I've communicated with the contractor that's repairing the beam. He's trying to get some information on what's gonna be required for a permit. So I reached out to, the town here to see what we need to do on that end. And then the other vendor that's doing the refinishing of the floor, just waiting to hear back on their schedule for the dead spots, to repair the dead spots. I've asked them to hold off on refinishing the floor altogether until the repair is done underneath the floor. So that way there's no damage to the new floor.
Yeah.
While the contractor's going back and forth. So we'll coordinate that with the two of them.
Did we loop in the building inspector?
I reached out to Kim.
Okay.
I haven't heard back from her yet on that.
We might want to just go directly to him. At the meeting that I attended a couple weeks ago, he said that he wanted to be involved in as many of the town buildings and properties as he can be, so.
It works, I can reach out to him. Next, we've got the Recreation Commission shirt order. Steve, I know you got some pricing from a vendor there. looks like they could do the combination for short sleeve and long sleeve. We were previously voted up to $600 out of the general supply fund. So if we each got a short sleeve and long sleeve shirt, we'd be under that budget. The other vendor that we were looking at originally could not do the combination long and short sleeve, so we would have to pick one or the other for the pricing that we were looking at. So, you know, I'm thinking we move forward with that solution, just get one of
Well, we
each.
could get that price point down if we have the logo in a vector format.
What does that mean?
So, no, so what it
Design
is,
format.
so there's different processes you can do. With the image we have only being a PDF, they're gonna have to silk screen it. And when you silk screen a very small quantity like that, it's a high price.
Okay,
There's a very cheap way of doing it called the transfer, and that's almost like a heat press, just goes on, you can actually almost see the clear plastic that was on, that
Okay.
doesn't hold up. There's a process that's in between it, it's almost, you get almost like a transfer, but it's not, when they put it under heat, the ink actually gets absorbed into the shirt.
okay,
So it's an in-between one,
Yeah.
but in order to do that, they would need the vector file in order to make the print of it. So if we know whoever has the RecCom seal, they probably already have it in a vector format.
I would check with Kim, because she's the one who sent me the clearest version we had, because I had to submit our seal to
The
AARP.
town seal.
Yeah,
The
so that price point.
No,
would be
recreation.
lower.
Oh, that was recreation?
recreation,
So we could check with that. If we can get it, we can probably get a lower price point on
or,
it.
yeah.
Then if we wanted to, we could actually do a couple extra shirts, just to have
So
around if we have other people
yeah, so I would
volunteering.
check with Kim,
Okay.
um,
I'll see
because
what
what
we
what I could find was not good, and what she sent me for AARP wanted a decent, like a good
have.
quality.
Quality, yeah. Okay,
It was
I'll
good and
check.
clear, so,
Because I know there's the converters like you have, but a lot of those converters, if you're starting with a lower resolution, you don't get such a nice
Yeah.
image from it.
so should we send our shirt sizes to you?
Let's figure out thing, then we could do that, yeah, and I can spearhead the whole thing once we get that
Did
done.
reach out to John Brunel to see if he had something, but I haven't heard back from him.
Haven't heard that?
When I reached out to him, because I reached out to him and Kim to check for that, it was Kim who was able to
Okay.
find
Yeah,
it. right.
the
Still
old,
have that?
I bet you
I
the
have an
person that
email.
would have had it would have been Andy Collins, because he did this kind of stuff
Yeah.
for a while, and he was the chair of the RecCom for years. But a lot of the stuff I've asked for, I had on a computer that the computer died,
Yeah.
because we went down this
Well,
Well,
path
it'll
a
be
few
nice to
times.
have that. I felt very left out at the fishing derby when Conservation had all theirs.
You can send me that logo that you used for
Yeah.
AARP. I can play around with the
Okay,
converters.
I will do that.
And if you're able to convert it, I can send it to the provider and see if it's clear enough,
See if it's good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
in order to do it, so.
Thank you. The next item, I wanted to bring up, I know many of you probably knew Josh Lane, passed away in a motorcycle accident beginning of the month. His family's been in town forever. He's actually the fifth generation, of his family in Litchfield, but he leaves behind two children. Maddie, 20 years old, and Nate is 16, still up at Campbell. The family as a whole has been heavily involved in the town, as well as the recreation sports. Maddie played softball until she aged out of the league at 12U. She played for the Litchfield Smash and the Blast for 10U and 12U levels. She played varsity at CHS, started as a freshman, started all the way up until she graduated. And her 12U Blast team went on to the World Series in Florida after winning the New Hampshire Babe Ruth State Championship. And her team also, her CHS team also won state champs and were a runner-up another year. Her brother Nate played rec baseball and travel basketball. He plays football for CHS and has for the last 3 years. He'll be a senior this year and looking forward to playing again this season. Josh, like I said, was heavily involved in the town and his kids' lives. He volunteered consistently in rec sports and around town. He sponsored many of the rec softball and baseball teams by donating money, having his company logo on the shirts for the teams. He coached Maddie and her Blast team help construct the dugouts for the 10U and 12U field at Roy Memorial Park, help construct the sign for Roy outside, out on Albuquerque. He was a big advocate for the river access when that went through. He helped build the concession stand at Jeff Lane when those fields went in. So I know that there's a group of family and friends that are looking to hold a charity to support the children. Not sure when that's going to be yet, but I'd like to start a GoFundMe for the rec committee and town employees to help donate to, so that we can provide some raffle items or donation to that charity to help support the kids going forward. So I'm just looking for, I guess, a motion to approve that. I can start the GoFundMe. We can advertise and have people donate to it.
So that would be separate from the GoFundMe they already have?
It'll be separate from that, yeah.
Kids.
It'll be from the rec committee. We just can't use our funds to do that.
Right.
So it has to be through donations.
And then, so whatever, is there gonna be like an event type
There
thing?
is, yeah.
There is.
There's gonna be an
Okay.
event, from what I hear, it'll be at AJ's Sports Bar and Grill. I
Okay.
just don't know the date yet.
So the GoFundMe would be used to purchase raffle items?
Yep.
Okay. And we could donate our own personal money?
Right.
So I'm just trying to, I mean, it's a horrible tragedy, and the Lane family has done so much for the community. Have you checked with the town administrator that we can legally go and sponsor a GoFundMe?
Yeah, she
Okay.
recommended
Because I was gonna say, if we couldn't, what we could do is help advertise theirs
Yeah.
within the rec commission on our page and, push it and so forth.
Right.
But yeah, I think I mean, they have done a lot, I mean.
What did we do a GoFundMe for fireworks? Oh, no,
So
that
the
was.
fireworks, we did not want to use the money that we raised and appropriated from a tax standpoint.
Right,
So
I can't
a
remember.
couple individuals got together and put it,
Oh,
husband being one of them, put it on Facebook, and we were more than
oh,
funded.
and you know what? I
in
think
like
he
36
I
hours.
think he changed his Venmo to firework fund.
Something like that, yeah. He
Okay,
changed
yeah,
it, and
never
in
mind.
36 hours, we had more money than
He
we
needed,
ever needed for a fireworks
Yeah.
display.
okay. Yeah, I just don't want the two GoFundMes to get confused.
Yeah, and that was kind of where I was going
Or-
too. I mean,
Is there another avenue that we can collect donations?
Because
through?
that one's going
But when it
directly for
comes
the
to that-
kids, and this is gonna be for, I think we'd have to make it really clear that it is, to be used for raffle,
Yep.
yeah.
So it's being used to support another fundraiser that goes
Yeah.
to support the kids.
Yeah.
So it
Right,
all
so
ends up
that
in the
is-
same place eventually.
So, well, are you thinking rec is gonna, let's say we get $400, that we're gonna go out and get gift cards or whatever
Yes,
with it, so
exactly.
it would be separate than that, yeah.
and then with those gift cards we get, is it gonna be like a silent auction or something at
Or
the,
they
Raffle
doing
table-
raffles?
raffle
The raffle
silent
table?
auction, yeah.
Okay,
to help drive more revenue?
yeah.
Yeah, that's what one of the people that's planning it was telling me they would do,
Okay.
a raffle item or raffle table.
Would, I usually do most of our posting, but, if we vote for that, would you be able to set it up and post it? Just, I'm not really sure how to do the whole GoFundMe thing and get it up there. I don't know, I think can everybody post on our page? I know there's at least multiple people. I know,
We
No, I
just
think it's
talked-
just you, myself, and Peter.
okay.
Remember last time we were trying to figure out who the administrators
at it.
were?
Yeah, we're like, so we need to find out who's our administrator. Oh, he passed away.
That hasn't changed yet.
So now we can never change it. Yeah, I think if we specifically state our commission is collecting and it'll be used to purchase items for raffles to support the family.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. It's
Yeah.
just how do we keep the confusion away?
So you would set up the whole
Yeah.
GoFundMe account and you would be able to, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
good.
Do we need a motion to approve that?
guess we should, I mean, but
Okay. Make a motion that Chris Burns set up and post a GoFundMe account on behalf of the Recreation Commission to collect funds that will be used to purchase raffle items. and
donated funds.
Donated funds.
Yeah, this is not anything to do with tax dollars out of our
Donated
budget.
funds
We are not
to
raising
purchase
appropriating.
raffle items for the Lane Family fundraiser to be held at a future date.
I will second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstained? Passes 5-0-0.
I didn't mean to push something on you, Chris.
No, no,
I just
that's
got a
why I
million.
offered to do it, I'm happy to
I
do
got a
it.
million things I'm learning to do right now or to take care of.
All right, so moving on to old business, we have the CIP. And Peter's not here, I know he was kind of tracking that. I don't think we've had anything new from the last go-around, so, I know we were discussing that, that's coming up in August, so.
Do we have a copy of that?
Finalize that.
Did one get emailed to us?
So he was
we know
supposed
what it
to,
was?
yeah, we had discussed talking about it tonight and
Yeah.
breaking it up, but he didn't bring it, so.
Right,
Cause I can't remember everything that's on there. And I do remember the last time we put it together, all of a sudden, like the pickleball courts and like a bunch of stuff got checked off, cause
Yep.
we had all of a sudden done a bunch of it and I can't remember what's there. I think we had like Roy Memorial Park as a general, umbrella one, I think, of improvements and,
We had the parking lot on for a while, that got checked off, I mean, there
Yeah.
was a lot of things that got off
Yeah.
that list.
so. It's gotta be somewhere, the list.
I don't see it in here, but, all right, then we have our concrete pads for the portables. I don't have any new information on that, I know we were supposed to mark out where they were going, but I don't know if that's happened.
Well, the,
I think a lot of people, I think at the last meeting or meeting before, everybody wanted them right where the portables are.
correct, and I reached out to everybody and said, is everybody comfortable with the road agent just putting them where he thinks?
Yeah.
And it didn't go anywhere.
So, no silence is commitment?
I mean, we put them in the
If
same
we-
places
If
every
we
year.
are, if we're content with the road agent using his best judgment,
Yeah,
he'd be more than happy to go do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
mean,
would say let's do
Pretty much
that.
go where they all are now, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I would say let's do that.
The only one that might change, I'd say, would be Schaefer Field. Right now, it's at the very top of a hill that goes down, so it's easy just to give it a push and go over, when historically, it was always down next to one of the sheds, is where they put it.
Down
Yeah.
below.
It was down the hill a little bit, there's a maintenance shed on the left-hand side, the concession shed's here, they used to tuck it right there. And it was so much easier for the kids to get to and everything,
down
so
there
it's
to
right
clean
down.
that?
What's that?
Can they get down there to clean
Yep,
it?
there's a little
There's a
road that
little
goes
down
down, they just back down there, they pump it out. But when we changed providers, they moved it to the top of the hill, and we found ourselves, a couple of years ago, dragging it back off from the bottom of the hill. Not us personally, but.
Okay. All right, so, yeah, maybe Andy can weigh in on that, but I would say let's just give Kevin the go-ahead.
I'll reach out to the road agent.
All right, perfect, thank you. All right, then moving on to other, we have, emails for June is Justin, almost stopped, Judy is July.
Yep.
Our next meeting dates are gonna be July 22nd, followed by August 12th and August 26th. Is there anything else that anyone would like to add?
Our facilities request form doesn't have the new, fee schedule on it.
It does not.
I updated that and I sent it to John a couple weeks ago, I sent it to Kim. I don't know who the right person is to make that happen.
It goes, okay.
Um,
Okay.
oh, Steve, you should probably let LGSL know that gate is going in.
They're gonna need the combination for when they go and stock the,
Yeah.
concession stand.
So we'll do like,
Gonna do
river access.
the multiple locks.
Yeah, so we'll give them the combination to rec, and then there's a sign that says 15-minute parking for,
Should we just give them their own lock?
We could give them their own lock, and they'll
Yeah.
chain the locks.
and then, so
So
right now we
police will
have
probably
3
have one,
chained.
fire will have one,
Police, fire.
we'll have
I
one.
think fire and police use the same,
Okay,
the same.
we'll have
one.
one. we
So
can
it'll have 3
LGSL.
locks instead, yeah, and then they have to lock it back up
Yep.
after. Okay, yeah, if they do that, then I can get
One of those spare lots.
more change. We can, ours is black. They can get red or blue or
Yeah, some other color.
blue or orange.
All right.
But that way they don't show up there and say, oh, what happened here? Can't get
Painted
through.
blast orange.
All right, unless there's anything else, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, passes 5-0, officially adjourned.
Well done.